When can you believe an influencer? When can you not believe an influencer? How do we better educate the public about when influencers are full of shit or not? Hey, it's John. Welcome back to the show. I am actually on vacation when we're supposed to be recording this episode, so I'm bringing back some of my favorite episodes from the past. This episode was actually originally published in November 2021. And the title of the episode is 99% of influencers are full of shit and regular people can't tell the difference. Should be pretty self-explanatory. I'll be back at the end to recommend another episode if you're looking for something to listen to after you're done with this one. In the meantime, hope that you enjoy.
I think you go full aggressive is what you do. Let's just go full force, John.
I go full aggressive into this one about how influencers are full of shit.
Yeah. Might as well.
Well, so who's an influencer? I mean, there are really good influencers that I don't think are full of shit, but I think how they became influencers often was full of shit. But like now that they're an influencer, they basically stop doing all the shit that like actually got them to the point where they are, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Like again, this is kind of some like behind the curtain stuff, I guess. I mean, I know a lot of these people. I've known a lot of these people. I've grown up in business with a lot of these people who are like influencers, right? And almost across the board, they did some sketchy shit to get to where they are. And it's like, and then they're trying to tell people, no, I mean, the way to do it is to build great content and have great network. It's like, nah, dude. You bought a whole bunch of shit followers. Then you joined a whole bunch of engagement communities. Then you paid a whole bunch of people to spam a whole bunch of other people. And now that you've done all that and you look important, now you're starting to gain real followers on the back end of that.
Or paid to be part of like a top 10 article.
Yeah, there's that. Oh God, there's that. Those were so funny when all those were coming out.
I know.
Every time that I saw like a friend of mine that I respected be like, I'm so excited. Yahoo Finance has called me one of the best online trainers you need to know about. I'm like, so you paid $750 for that? Because they sent me a message too, and everybody else. Yeah. And you're just the one who said yes. I'm so humbled. You're not humbled. First of all, you don't even know what that word means. If you were humbled, you wouldn't brag about how you're humbled. No. That's not the definition of that word. Anyway, are they full of shit? Look, social media is a tiny snapshot of what our lives are actually like. And what our lives are actually like, everybody who actually has real lives, right? I'm not talking about Billy, the 22-year-old, 23-year-old influencer who, you know, still lives at home, has testosterone flowing through his veins because he's 22 years old, like has no responsibilities so he can train twice a day. And like I'm not talking about him, right? I mean, he is motivational to other people like him. I'm talking about like people with lives and families and businesses, you know, businesses where they're not just like, I don't know. It's kind of funny because I've lived in a whole bunch of like digital nomad beach towns, right? Like this is my ninth winter in a row being away for 4 to 6 months. And I've seen this really fascinating transition happen where like 5 years ago, every single person I met was a digital marketer. 3 years ago, every single person I met was a life coach. Last year, every single person I met was a day trader for stocks, and this year every single person I meet is a crypto day trader. And it's literally the same person. Yeah. Like it's Billy. Like Billy, like that Venn diagram is just a circle. You know, like it's the same person. And so, you know, I'm talking about like real life shit here. You know, people who live real life. It's messy, right? Like I don't need to tell you this, Amber. I mean, life is messy. Stuff comes up. Family gets in the way. It's also kind of really miserable to live your life thinking about how you're going to turn everything into an Instagram post. Mm. And if you don't have really, really good checks and and boundaries around that, it can really break you down. And I think what spurred this on, I don't know, I wrote this subject. We should like write notes when I write subjects, because I wrote this subject like a long time ago on our list of stuff to talk about, and then you brought it up today. But I feel like when I wrote this subject, what happened was, this is my best memory of it. And if I'm lying, it doesn't really matter. You wouldn't know the difference. But I was scrolling through Instagram mindlessly, probably on the toilet, because that's where I scroll through Instagram mindlessly. That's where anybody does. And I hit on like a big fitness Instagrammers page, like a million plus, like one of those like butts out like Instagrammer pages. And she was talking about how, I guess this is probably why it popped up, because she hadn't posted for a really, really long time, is what the message said. So she was talking about how she's so happy to be back. She just needed a mental health break from Instagram.
Aw.
And her entire Instagram is about how she lives this wonderful life. But then she has to leave that wonderful life that she's making up on Instagram because it's breaking her down mentally.
Yep.
Like, that shit's backwards. And that is not just deceitful, that's really dangerous. Because people looking at that, particularly younger, more impressionable people that might aspire to, irrelevant of like the Photoshop stuff, right? Where it's just these bodies that don't actually look like those bodies. It's like the girl on the cover of the fitness magazine doesn't actually look like the girl on the cover of the fitness magazine. It's like, it was a big joke that I wanted to walk around, that I want to print 500 t-shirts that just say on them in big letters, "You don't look like your picture on Instagram," and just hand them out to people at fitness conferences. But I still think that would be funny, by the way. But it's, it's one of those, like, if you are projecting this idealistic life with this idealistic body, with this idealistic partner, which often happens, you get all these Instagram relationships and stuff like that. And then you have to take a break from it because your mental health is being, and I'm not downplaying people who have mental health problems, but like, if that's something that you have always dealt with, then that should be a part of your platform. That's a really important thing to bring up. And in fact, if you do deal with mental health issues and problems that you constantly deal with, and you never talk about them, and you only project an idealistic life, you're actually doing a tremendous amount of damage to other people who have those problems. And I think it's just really important to put this into perspective of what actually matters in how you live your life, in how you live a rich life, right? And a rich life doesn't necessarily mean that you accumulate riches, that you make as much money as possible. To me, a rich life is different for everybody, which is why I really like the term. But it's not how to get rich that matters. It's how to live a rich life that matters. And that's what I'm really looking forward to projecting a lot more on Instagram. Like, what are the values to me that matter? I want to sleep well at night, which means that I want to make, purely if we're talking about money, which means I want to make safe, long-term investments. I do own cryptocurrency, but like, it's Bitcoin, right? Like, I'm not playing around in any of the NFT stuff and that. And it's not even that I don't think that there's opportunity there. It's not even that I don't think that there's good stuff going on in that world. I think that there absolutely is. But my rich life means I don't want to worry about any of that shit. I want to sleep well at night. I don't want to have to constantly check my portfolio. I want to be hedged against catastrophic failure, which means that Allison and I have a few rental properties. We have our house. We have assets in the stock market. And then we have assets, safe assets in the crypto market as you can have. There really isn't much that can take me out. I can afford not to put all my eggs in one basket that's really volatile in the hopes that it's going to blow up and make me super rich. I can't afford to lose everything, and I can't afford to put myself in a situation where I worry, where I'm not present with my family, where I'm not present from my work, where I'm not sleeping well at night. And so that's part of it, right? Same thing with work. I mean, what's really important with work? It's the balance. What's really important with fitness? It's like, man, I love working out. Does that mean that I want to crush myself every single day? No. Does that mean that I know that I'm not going to look, like as good as I would otherwise look? If, like, I could tell you exactly how I could be shredded. Straight up, I'm not willing to do that. Straight up.
Yep. Too much.
Just, it ain't for me, dude.
Nope.
So this is where, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised when they see a title that says 99% of influencers are full of shit. I think just it's not so much about the Photoshop stuff to me. It's about just really being true to yourself on whatever platform you have, and like being aggressively true to yourself, and building your campaigns around that, and not being drawn into the stuff, not comparing yourself to so much that's out there. Even people with big followings. I mean, sometimes it's a really big deal. It's really good stuff. I mean, my buddy Jordan Syatt's a great example of that. Like, he's built a great following the right way. But at the same time, Syatt spent many years, 4 to 6 hours a day on Instagram. Every single day, 7 days a week. Now, he doesn't do that today, right? But that's how he got to where he is today. Are you willing to do that? Hell no, I'm not.
No, we know your thoughts on it.
So do I? Well, do I look at that? Do I look at his platform and say, "Oh, I wish that I had that"? Absolutely, it's admirable. It's amazing what he's built. I love what he does. I love the messages he puts out. I love him as a person. We spoke on the phone yesterday, even for 10 minutes, just about something like I love him as a person. I think he's one of the best dudes out there, straight up. One thing that's really important, I think, to always keep in mind is when you see people in a position that you aspire to be in, or when you see people that have something that you aspire to have, would you be willing to do what they did in order to get there or have that? The answer is most often no. And it's hard because you don't always know what that is. And so that can be difficult. But it's really important when you're looking at influencers, when you're wishing, hoping, dreaming that you can be in that position of being an influencer, that you know that, like, you try to figure out, or even you ask them truthfully what they did to get to where they are. And if they give you some superficial crap like, "Oh, I just made really good content," nah, there was more to it than that. Like, are you willing to spend 5 hours a day making really good content for Instagram? Maybe.
Yep.
If so, that's it. Go to the, like, if that's your thing, right, go to the edge of the map on that. If not, don't compare yourself to people who do. I think that's more what it's about. And then the fakeness and the, like I said, I think what brought this on was the mental health thing. Like, hey, I'm so happy to be back. I had to take a break from my mental health. You're talking to me every day about how your life is perfect in every way. And then one day out of the blue, you have to take a long break from this because it's beating down your mental health. Yo, that's some fake shit.
It's a perfect audio clip for me right there. I'm just gonna put that like on our media board. That's some fake shit. I'm gonna give it to Joey.
Joey will have fun with that.
All right. On the final note of John of that fake shit. I need to put
Yeah, what do you
a
want?
shit counter. I'm gonna put a shit counter on this. How many times you said shit today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you told me to be aggressive with it. I was going to be all nice and talk about how
Oh
they're
no.
probably really good people. They just went down
Misguided.
the wrong path. And the problem is when you start going down the wrong path, you begin to justify every little decision along the way. And when you justify all those little decisions, every single one of them seems like a good decision. But then you find yourself at this position far off in the future where all of those little decisions have added up, and now you're caught in this spiral, and it's very hard to get out of it. And I just feel bad for you.
But that wouldn't have been
also went there.
authentic.
Could have also went there.
That's not
Would
fun.
you?
That's no fun.
Yeah, yeah.
We like full aggressive, authentic John best. He's fun.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
All right. End of that one, and on to the next.
When can you believe an influencer? When can you not believe an influencer? How do we better educate the public about when influencers are full of shit or not? Hey, it's John. Welcome back to the show. I am actually on vacation when we're supposed to be recording this episode, so I'm bringing back some of my favorite episodes from the past. This episode was actually originally published in November 2021. And the title of the episode is 99% of influencers are full of shit and regular people can't tell the difference. Should be pretty self-explanatory. I'll be back at the end to recommend another episode if you're looking for something to listen to after you're done with this one. In the meantime, hope that you enjoy.